Welcome to True Crime Down the Rabbit Hole. Come with me down the rabbit hole. I promise you I'll stick with you and you won't get lost. Sounded really lame. But that's the idea basically, is getting into the psychology of these people and just talking about what I find interesting about it. And hopefully you relate to some of it, or you'll let me know what you find interesting about the case that we're talking about. This is going to be the last video I'm going to do until there are any new developments on Jacqueline Ades. In case this is the third video, but in case you don't know, Jacqueline Ades is the woman originally from Florida, very attractive woman, met a guy on a dating site, a kind of strange dating site where it's like only the guys are all millionaires and the women are young. So kind of a mercenary kind of relationship from the start, but whatever. But yeah, she's young and beautiful, and she met this guy, Isaac Ben Shabbat, I think his name is, who owns a skincare company in Phoenix. And I guess he's rich. I guess if he owns, I don't know, whatever. But anyway, they went out on one date from what the news says. She says they went out on 3 dates. But he said he wasn't interested after that first date. I have no idea if they had sex. I don't know. But she then sent him 159,000 texts over, careful. I have a cat, so I'm not trying to copy True Crime Loser, that guy who's a great channel, True Crime Loser, if you're into this stuff. I watch all of his stuff. He has a cat named Little T who always comes on camera. Not always, but sometimes. But my cat is, we'll see. Anyway, last time she pulled out this headphone while I was doing the thing. Anyway, so she sent him 159,000 texts in 9 months. So that's crazy, and obsessive, and in denial of the fact that he's not interested, and just out there. So that's one thing. The next thing she did was she broke into his house once, and I believe she got arrested. Then she broke into his house another time, and she took a bath in his house. And the way he found out about that, people have video cameras in their house sometimes, and they're able to like monitor it with their phone. They can kind of look through the cameras and see what's going on. So some motion detector, I assume, triggered the thing on his phone. He took a look and he saw her taking a bath in his house with 2 of her small dogs. So whoa. So she thought they were meant to be together, whatever. So then she showed up at his job also in Phoenix, demanding to know where he is. Where's Isaac? And who are you? I'm his wife. So that's where she was coming from. So she was arrested. She had a butcher knife in the car, in her car outside of his house when she was taking the bath. So yikes, So anyway, this is the last thing. Basically, I'm just going to talk about the interview. For some reason, she had an interview at the Phoenix jail. I don't know why the prison people would allow them, but news organizations were there. And they set up the cameras, and she was in her prison oranges, and she was so nice, She was like, oh, hi, I'm Jackie, and you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask me. And she just seemed totally like clear, like not a crazy person at all. And she's attractive, so it was just kind of stunning, I can see how a guy would get fooled initially. Anyway, I also have sympathy for this woman because she's obviously mentally ill. And a psychiatrist determined that she's unfit to stand trial for her stalking and her terrorist threat, because she threatened to kill him on the text message, in addition to some really gruesome stuff like she was going to wear his skin, bathe in his blood, wear his skin, and use his finger bones as chopsticks. So I thought that last part was a little creative. I never thought about that, but anyway, totally terrifying. Okay, so she gets interviewed, and they start asking, what's up? How did you meet this guy? She tells him on that dating site. She acknowledges it was a superficial dating site. She says that she was on a quest to find love. So she was driving to Mount Zion in Utah, which I don't know much about. Probably a spiritual place. And she was obsessed with the number 33. So the zip code in Florida where she lived was 33111. the axis, like the correction on her eyeglasses or contact lenses, was like 333. She went to a psychic, and the psychic said, pay attention to the number 33. She was at a bar in Utah talking to a guy saying she was looking for her soulmate, and she was following 33, the number 33. And the bartender was like, hey, you know what? I don't really want to say anything, but look right behind you. And on the wall, there was like a 33. And so then she looked at him and she says, are you my soulmate? And he says, no. And she says, well, maybe you're there to help me find my soulmate. So I'm just thinking, like, if he had said yes, because he thought she was beautiful or something, like, are you my soulmate then? Because the number 33 is there. And he said yes. He might have been the guy, but he just like escaped a bullet, dodged a bullet. Unbelievable. So anyway, he suggested that she go to Sedona, which is in Arizona. And she looked it up. And she says it's the 33rd most spiritual place in the world or something. I don't know. Maybe there's some list. So then she went to Sedona, and the guy texted her from the website, something like that. And they had the same birthdays, and it was all about 33s. And I guess I just wanted to say, like, look, I've had times when I've been under heavy stress, you know, and I've thought I saw patterns and things that weren't there. You know what I mean? Like in the news or colors in commercials or something. There was a short time where I was pretty out there, and none of it was real, but it felt real at the time, and it was scary. So I guess that's what she was going through, you know? I don't know what would make somebody obsess about a number and follow it. It just must be something in the brain, you know? But I sympathize with her because, I mean, what if she killed this guy? You know, obviously it would have been awful for him, and it would have been awful for her because she's listening to these, they're not really voices in her head, but they kind of are, because they're kind of like thoughts going 33, 33. Oh, there's another 33. Oh, there's another 33, you know? So it's not like someone's speaking to her, but it's kind of her mind controlling her, and it's not rational, and she's not in control of it. So anyway, she starts to explain this, and then she ties it like 33 into Atlantis and how that's the source of everything, and it's under the earth. And at that point, the interviewers cut her off because they can see she's going off, and they're like, okay, Jackie, but some of the texts you sent him were kind of crazy and kind of scary, and did you break into his house? And she says, I don't want to talk about that. So that was interesting. She shut it down fast. And then every time they asked her about something like the threats in the text, breaking into his house, having anything that is truly scary, she says, I don't want to talk about that. And my two favorite moments in the interview, for whatever reason, is there's a lady who's asking her, I imagine like it's an Asian lady, reporter. She's just doing her job, man. She's doing a good job, but she's like, she pushes on all this scary stuff. Like, you know, I'm sorry, Jackie, but when you said you were going to, you know, wear his skin and stuff, she's like, I don't want to talk about it. You have bad energy. I'm sorry. She goes, you have bad energy. I'm sorry. So then the reporters tried to like play nice to get more information from her and just kind of like ask her questions about him and about what their first date was like. So they kind of try to keep it clean so that they didn't kind of set her off where she'd want to end the interview, or she would say, you have bad energy. But it was nice that she apologized. She was like, you have bad energy. I'm sorry. Like she felt bad about saying that. So where was I going with that? Oh, my feeling on her is that she is in denial about her homicidal tendencies. And that's probably one of the scariest people you can run into, because I would think, just my opinion, just like they're in total denial about it. And then a switch, whatever it is, clicks in their head and they're going to kill you. So I just think she was in denial about it, you know, and she just couldn't deal with it or didn't want to address it. It was almost like she was like erasing it. The problem is that stuff is there and it's going to come out, you know? So, okay, let's do it this way. Oh, she also was like, I picture we would get married. And she said later, not in this interview, but she said that a jury won't convict her. Not only will a jury not convict her, a jury's going to make him marry me. Juries don't do that. First of all, they don't say to someone, you have to marry this woman. You should. You guys are meant for. But that's what she said. So, like, she is so out there, away from. You know, who knows? Maybe she's right. You know, maybe they are meant to be together. I have no idea. But let's say they were to get married. Okay, like what she wants. They were to get married. They were to love each other. He were to give himself totally to her. They have amazing, you know, intimacy. They love each other. He fawns on her, all that stuff. But you know the day would come when she would perceive something that's not there, or he would look at another woman, or she would perceive that he was, and she'd carve him up, man. That's the fact. So it's so terrifying, honestly. It's terrifying. So just her denial of it. Like, it would be different if she said, yes, I went to his house. I was trying to get close to him. I just wanted to smell his clothes. I mean, even if she were to talk about weird stuff like that, at least that would like be honest, you know, and you can kind of deal with that. But like, I don't want to talk about it. Da 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 da. You're bad energy. Da da da. It's like, to me, that's scarier because it's there. She's in denial, and it's like she said when the interviewer said, "Jackie, they found a butcher knife in the car." She's like, "No, they didn't. I have like a little flick blade that you know, because I'm driving across America by myself. I'm a single woman. I need to defend myself. I have a little flick." My guess is she did have the butcher knife. I have no proof. But the fact that she denied that, it's just like there would come a day when she would snap. No matter, he could do everything perfectly. You know what I mean? And if she's mentally ill, like, she would snap sometime and he'd be dead, man. You know? So, you know, she talks about E equals MC squared. She discovered I'm serious. She just talks about E equals MC squared equals love. And that she is the person who discovered love. Not like she is a person who discovered love. She is the person who discovered what love is. So that's grandiosity, psychologists will call it, but like, you know, that she's the one. And she starts to kind of go off on this stuff, and she talks about how the role of the woman is to be completely subservient to the man and serve him, and that she's happy she's in jail because that's what he wants. And man, it's just, I don't know what happened to her as a child, man. There's a video on YouTube. It's like called Jackie Ades Needs Help. I'll leave it in the comment section, a link, or in the description section, a link. It's a woman claiming to be your friend, and it sounds credible. It sounds like she really was her friend in Florida. And she said that she was kept by a rich man who totally controls her. And so she had unhealthy relationships and stuff from the beginning, but you know, I don't know much. You know, maybe later on more will come out about her, and I hope she gets the help that she needs. I hope this guy is safe, and I hope he's feeling safe in the world, you know, because that can really destroy your sense of safety, I'm sure. So anyway, I pray for you, Jackie, that you that your mind gets calm, and that you become okay, and that you find love and happiness. I really do. So not making fun of you or demonizing you at all. You know, I'm also not taking sides of you versus him versus the guy that was stalked, but I know how things can get when you start to mentally go downhill. It's happened to me. So, and I got help I needed. You know, I don't want to go into it too much here, but it's just like, I understand, like, seeing patterns and things that aren't there and thinking they are there. And man, so I guess you'll get some kind of psychiatric treatment, but anyway, it's really an interesting case. It's that's it. Hi, let's see. I'm getting a low battery reading. Okay, 14 minutes. Okay, so that's it. This is my third video for True Crime Down the Rabbit Hole. The next video I'm going to do is going to be on Chris Watts. There's been so much done on Chris Watts, and this channel, Jim Can't Swim. That was really good. They took down a lot of his videos, man, but he still has some good ones up there. True Crime Losers is my favorite. This guy, Scott, he does great stuff on Chris. He's extremely funny. And he's bright. He covers the case. And then there's Susan Bonds, who I really like too. She's interesting. And then there's this lady, I'll find out her name. She's like this really nice woman with a British accent, and she just kind of talks to the camera like this about narcissism. But she's really kind, and she has some really good things to say, and her channel is doing well, so that's good. So the only thing that really interests me about the Chris Watts case is, what was he thinking was going to happen? You know? Okay, anyway, Chris Watts was the guy that killed his 2 small daughters, smothered them, and his wife, who was also pregnant with his son. Insane. What was he thinking? I mean, you just divorce, man. You know, you just divorce her. That's it. You know, like, what was in his mind that was like, I'm going to kill him, and I'm going to get away with it, and I'm going to be able to live with my mistress, and she's not going to suspect me for my whole life. I mean, it's just, he seems very, very normal. I think True Crime Loser got it right that he has some personality defects. He was probably always an outsider. He was overweight. Look, I'm overweight right now. It's fine. I'm just saying, like, he was overweight, and then he got really in shape. And he probably got a lot of attention from women he didn't have before. You know, when you're stable, you have a job and a family, it makes you more Anyway, so just the whole idea of, like, I mean, what did he think? That wasn't going to weigh on him the rest of his life? He wasn't going to get caught? And even if he didn't get caught, it's just like, what? I mean, talk about weighing on you and everyone being suspicious of you. And I mean, man, I'm just trying to understand what he's thinking. Like, what was he thinking? Did he just snap that his wife seemed to be a dominant woman? To me, she was beautiful, and articulate, and but she probably ran the show. She probably was unhappy with him in certain respects. Maybe she rode him like crazy, like nagged at him all the time. And, you know, I don't know, but it's just like, you just got to divorce him. You don't kill him. Anyway, I'm going to try to get into his head a little bit. And, but man, True Crime Loser, Jim Can't Swim, Susan Bonds, they got great. That guy 411 Now, he's good too. And he had like some secret connections into the prison where Chris Watts and so he would like know what he had for lunch and stuff. So, and he like reported on his show. I don't know if he was like friends with a janitor or something like that at the prison. Anyway, you know, man, if you're watching this, thanks for watching it. You know, if you're into these things, you know, I'm not into the gore. I'm not glamorizing anybody. And I just find it interesting. And terrible tragedies, you know, and I'm definitely going to talk about the horrifying aspects of it, you know. So anyway, thank you. True crime, down the rabbit hole. I'm just trying. We'll see how it goes. And thank you. Chris Watts is next. Okay.